Hey, what's up, listener? Thanks for pressing play on this episode of the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Black Panther continues to climb the box office at a crazy pace. Avengers Infinity War rumored runtime revealed, and they moved up the release date.
Geek boner.
Joss Whedon exits the Batgirl movie. Aquaman has test screened, and Marvel Comics is set to relaunch their whole line again.
Why are you putting people through this?
Plus, a quick discussion on Ryan Coogler's first movie, Fruitvale Station, an audio comment from a listener, and so much more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, March 1st, 2018.
Check one. All right. This is really fans out there. Let's give it up. We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah. We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert.
Hey, what's happening, listener? Thanks for hanging out, and welcome to the Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Jock and Nerd.
My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And he is the Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs? Good earth to you.
What's up, dudes? You could call me Rerun. Let me break dance.
That's right. Flip the hands around. D, where's my quarter? I'll give you a quarter, D, right now to go down to the school.
I'll tell Mama.
Raj, you know I'll tell Mama. People under the age of 40 have no idea
No one knows
what
what we're talking about. Yes.
One of my favorite shows. Anthony, what's happening? No? Nothing?
No.
Shirley, The Diner, Raj, Rerun, Dwayne? Anyways, if you're a new listener, this is not the What's Happening retro review show. This is the Jock and Nerd Podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose every week when you subscribe to the podcast, whether it's in Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We're on Spotify. If you live on Spotify, check us out there. We got a lot of new listeners writing in saying they found us on Spotify. It's very cool. But for this show...
Were you expecting a comment there? You had a nice little pause.
Yeah, no. Was I?
I don't know.
I have to breathe at some point, you motherfuckers.
I don't believe you actually
It's just
breathe.
so weird to hear you, like, not say something.
Yeah.
I have to activate my third lung to start talking. Look, this is what we're going to do this show. There's so much news I got so much news. Strap in, listener. You're going to be hanging out with us for the next 4 or 5 hours. Believe me. It's a lot of exciting stuff. I'm kidding. Not that long. We're going to go over that because last episode we did Black Panther. We didn't really catch up on the reviews. And then I noticed we all just kind of watched Fruitvale Station, Ryan Coogler's first movie, like on a whim, on the same day.
Well, I needed to rewatch it because I was listening to the podcast from Black Panther, and there was one point where I was talking about Ryan Coogler's directing, and I said, my exact words, he puts the camera on things that he wants you to see, and I wanted to slap myself. I'm like, why wasn't I able to vocalize his direction? And I was like, I got to go watch Fruitvale Station again. And I remembered things that I wanted to say, and I was upset, and I was happy I saw it again because I got a whole new perspective on that movie. So,
because then Anthony, you were like, "I'm gonna watch it," and when I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna fucking watch it too. It's on the Netflix, so we'll have just a quick discussion. I want to get your guys' thoughts, and then lots of listener emails, questions, and an audio comment from the listener.
Oh shit!
I love when we get those.
Geek boner.
Gives me geek boner. Check out the show notes at jockandnerd.com/210 for everything we talk about in this episode. And like I said, if you're a new listener, check out our Black Panther review. It is the very last episode where we had a great special guest, TJ Johnson from the Voice from the Underground podcast. That was a really fun show with a post-credit scene at the end of the recording. You got to listen to the end. And then I went on and did their show. And you can hear a really horrible karaoke rap battle between me and Jason.
I got to listen to this.
And it turns out Jason is the big old school hip hop fan over there. So we got to talk old school hip hop. That was a lot of fun. I'll put all links to all that in the show notes. Look, we have a lot of news. Let's get to it right now.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Get in touch with the show. Reach out and tickle our taint. That sounds weird.
That's
No.
Anthony's.
What?
That's Anthony's jurisdiction.
Oh, that's Anthony's job.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He does the tape.
If you want to get in touch with us, just visit our website, jockandnerd.com/contact, where you can find our Twitter page, our Facebook page. You could send us your voice like a listener did at the end of the show. Very exciting. And you can join our awesome Facebook group called Jock and Nerd Nation. Oh, boy, I got a lot of welcomes. A lot of people joining this week. Welcome to Trista Brady, Sam Culper from the Breakers podcast, Michael Cherkowski, who runs thevampirerobots.com, goes to G-Fest, sells awesome figurines of Godzilla. Check out that website. Andrew Paul Dusick, Felipe Sanchez, Alex Chase, and Matt Miller. Welcome to the nation. Thanks for listening, fellas. And Trista, do you think that's a girl? Guys, what do you think?
Trista, yeah, I'd go with that being a girl.
We got another one. Raising
Watch.
our quota.
Watch, it's going to be a fucking boy.
Yeah, I'm probably wrong. I have guest listeners' genders wrong before. Look, let's start by saying a hearty get well soon to Kevin Smith.
Oh,
Suffered
yeah.
a scary and near fatal heart attack earlier
know.
this week. Crazy. Ruggs, you texted me that first, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It was February 26th. He was supposed to do 2 stand-up shows in Glendale, California. In between shows, he thought he was having a reaction to milk. He said, "I felt a little nauseous, and then I tried to lay down on the floor. I wound up getting ill, like threw up, but mostly bile. So I thought, I got some bad milk." Apparently, he dodged the Widowmaker.
Oh, shit.
That name is not good, obviously.
No, that's like the main artery. That's the aorta.
The LAD artery, it was a blockage, but he's okay now. He's at home. You could see all the Facebook videos and posts and tweets.
They put a stent in there.
They put a stent in there to keep the guy going. And you know what? It's weird.
But did you watch his whole story?
No, I mean,
His breakdown?
No.
All right, well, I'll tell you a little bit about
give
it.
us the Cliff Notes.
He was so concerned with people seeing his fat gut and his small penis
Oh, no.
that he fought like the hospital guys.
Really?
From like lifting up his shirt or like taking off his underwear. I'm like, what, dude? You're gonna die.
He's like, no, I
like
don't.
let him see your small dick. We all know it's not big. Like we know, like we don't like you because you're like this Adonis with a huge cock. That's what we like Anthony for.
You know what? This is why I love Kevin Smith. Even near death, he's fucking.
Still thinking about his fucking dick
He's
size.
still making dick jokes. And he's.
I thought that was hilarious.
He's lost a lot of weight, but clearly sometimes the shit is genetic. Like losing weight doesn't necessarily mean you're going to dodge this thing.
No.
And then I believe now he's tweeted
Well,
like
just because you lose weight
Right.
doesn't mean that the artery
that is clear.
buildup in
Right.
your arteries is going to just magically disappear.
That shit didn't get there
He
overnight.
was fat.
Yes, and that buildup will eventually have to. It didn't get there overnight.
Right.
So wow, scary. I think he's vegetarian now. Is that what I'm reading? I don't know if he's joking.
I guess he's worried about cholesterol and building a plaque in his arteries. So
Plus,
he's got to.
and I think his dad had died of heart failure. Like if it's in your genes, if it's in your family,
You're more at risk.
yeah,
Just take some Lipitor, dude. Eat a burger.
Lipitor.
Yeah.
It just makes you a little bit.
It sounds like a cool Thor villain.
Yeah.
Lipitor.
Damn it, Lipitor, you've foiled me again.
Yes.
It does. Lipitor's got the soul stone. We must stop him.
Yes.
Listen, bro, all I got to say is Kevin Smith, of course he's getting tons of messages and well wishes, but he means a lot to a lot of people. This guy inspired filmmakers and inspired podcasters, continues to inspire creators. His message of just make shit and get it out there.
Look, say what you want about the guy, about his talents or whatever, but he was one of the first dudes to come out as a geek and and really expose the world to how we think and what we say and our version of what's cool,
The geek godfather that kind of got us to this place where you don't really have to be a closeted geek and nerd anymore, where it's mainstream. Like he was part of starting all this.
Yeah.
And again, Clerks is a great example of how good writing saves everything.
And he marches to the beat of his own drum.
Yeah.
He wears those hockey shirts. I don't know why, but he does it.
Those sweaters.
shorts.
The man just makes his weird movies now, like Tusk
Yeah,
and
he
that
just
other
does what he
one. And it
wants.
just does what he wants. He loves doing his podcast, and I love listening to Fat Man on Batman. So I'm glad that he's better. And I can't imagine the mind changing shit he's gonna come up with now after living through this. A guy like Kevin, He's going to be like, I've seen the light, and it should be crazy. But man, I'm glad he's okay.
Did he mention that he was on the other side for a second or no?
I don't know, Ruggs. Did he?
I don't think he did.
No, he said what he said. That if the end were to come, he was fine with it.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He was content.
He was happy with what he did.
As Jeff Buckley once said, die with a satisfied mind.
He says here's the quote, and I was like content. Like, it was weird. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to die. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, if the ferryman comes tonight, I got to pay him. Like, what a ride it's been. What an incredible fucking ride. So, man, he was ready. That's so crazy. You know what else is crazy? Have you heard about what Stan Lee's been going through? According to the Daily Mail, Stan Lee
He's got pneumonia.
Holy shit.
Oh, no.
Stanley, so he's 95.
That's not good.
He
when
was
you're
rushed
that
to the
old.
hospital and back. He's battling pneumonia. But also, according to this Daily Mail article, he is going through some shit with his manager and his nurse. He fired his longtime manager, Max Anderson, amid claims of a plot to drive a wedge between him and his only child, daughter J.C. Lee, for his estate. Also fired was Linda Sanchez, a nurse. It was his caretaker. She has gone missing. There is $1.4 million missing from Stan Lee's bank accounts. Apparently, he's worth $50 million. And all this, and he's battling pneumonia. I was like, holy fuck, Stan Lee's going through some shit.
Yeah.
That sucks,
What happens
man.
when they see the vulture circling.
Don't let him see you shining.
Did I do a Stan Lee impression?
Well, you know how much people love your Stan Lee impression, Ruggs. What would
Stan Lee say at a time like this? When I was making Spider-Man, I never thought that my grungy lawyer was going to stink his disgusting hands into my pockets. I don't know. That's all I can think of.
This is
Excelsior.
going great.
people
Can't
love,
think of anything. Cut this out immediately.
people love, no, I like that. People love Ruggs' Stan Lee impersonation.
I just like when he just says Spider-Man.
Let me get
That's the
that
best
with
thing.
challah bread. Oh, that's what I'll name him.
Oh, Jack, you asshole.
So, look, Jack Kirby, I'm stealing your shit and giving you no credit.
you
Son
asshole.
of a bitch, Jack.
Jack, you son of a bitch, you created the best thing, but you're not getting any writing credit, Jack. Don't believe it.
Remember when I was talking about his nurses? I'm like, hey, chickie baby, come here.
This nurse, Linda Sanchez, that was fired, she admitted to giving him naked showers and was accused of giving him happy ending massages.
Oh,
Is
shit.
that for real?
According to this story in the Daily Mail, I left those details out.
Happy ending massages. How is this shit working?
I don't know.
He's 95.
It's just dust comes out of there or what?
Yeah. What are you getting out of that? That's brutal.
hand off my penis!
That's not what
He's
he was
not-
saying.
At that age, do you even feel anything? Like, what's going on?
I just want to give mustache rides.
Why do you think I grow this thing? All right, look, get well, Stan. Get well, Kevin Smith. Let's talk about Black Panther, the movie that continues to break box office records.
Has it made $1 billion yet? That's what I want to know.
But we'll be
Not
getting
yet.
there close. Here's some more records it broke. Second weekend, the fucking movie scores a huge $111 million
Oh, shit.
domestically.
A lot of movies be happy getting that in their first weekend.
Yes, that's more than Wonder Woman made opening weekend. Also, it's the fourth movie to crack 100 million in its second opening weekend. That's amazing. It's now the third highest grossing Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. It's the fifth highest superhero movie, and I think it's like top 20 highest grossing movies of all time. And to tally everything up, let's not forget the $202 million opening weekend. So far, in 13 days of release, this movie has made $428 million domestically, $763 million
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
worldwide. Anthony, let me ask you this. Will it crack $1 billion?
I was on the fence, but I remember last week I said eventually, yeah, it will.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, fuck yeah, it will. I mean, Jesus Christ. This movie's at, 763 as of today, which is March 1st. And this is coming into its third week. And
Yes.
I don't think it's opened up. I'm looking at the foreign markets right now.
It still hasn't
opened up in China or Japan.
No.
Like a
or
good-
Russia.
Yeah.
A good indicator of this is that You've seen it twice, and Imran's seen it
Yep.
twice. And then TJ saw it 3 times.
Yep.
So people are seeing it repeat viewings. So that's just the fact that people are in that mode where they're like, I'm going to see this again.
Yes.
Right.
That's going to take it to $1 billion.
Ruggs,
No sweat.
Do you think this thing could open at number 1 for a third weekend?
It's possible. What's
Here's
coming out
its
this week?
competition. Red Sparrow.
It's okay. It's R-rated.
That's the
Now-
one with Jennifer Lawrence,
J-Law
or Death
being-
Wish
yeah.
with Bruce Willis.
That I saw a commercial for that. That looks kind of fun.
But no one's seeing it.
No, it's gonna go see
No,
it.
no one's going to see that.
But I was like,
And
Bruce Willis is an old ass superhero. I mean,
Jennifer Lawrence has her clothes on in this movie, I think. So
it's the R-rated Black Widow movie.
I think it will. I think it could be a third
Yeah.
straight
Okay,
week.
so then my next question is, how far above $1 billion? Does it go 1.2 billion?
I
finish?
think it crosses $1 billion. That's
Yeah.
it.
I think it crosses $1 billion as well. I don't know if the international market
Maybe $1
is
billion
embracing
one.
it as much as the
1.2.
American market.
It's blow past everyone's expectations. I'm going to say when all is finished, it makes 1.2 billion. It is the third highest gross Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, just behind Avengers: Age of Ultron, which is at 459. So I think it can
It's gonna
beat that.
Avengers. Oh yeah,
And then
it will.
Marvel's The Avengers 623.
Well, Box Office Mojo predicts that it'll bring in around 65 million this weekend.
Oh shit! Another
Which,
65 million.
If it hits that, it'll
Wow.
be over 500 million, which would be the second fastest film, the top
Yes.
500 million, besting
Holy crap!
Star Wars: The Last Jedi by 2 days.
Nothing is stopping this thing.
No.
I can't wait till it
I
breaks
mean, Box
$1
Office
billion.
Mojo says it's going to hit 65 million this weekend,
Oh,
with Red Sparrow coming in second with 19.
it's a better movie than Star Wars, so.
It is.
Oh snap! Oh shit! It is though, but it also has what I love about the first Star Wars is this world that you instantly fall in love with, characters you want to learn more about, and you just kind of want to hang out there. Like it reminded me a lot of Star Wars. Watching this was a lot like watching Star Wars for the first time because you're like, whoa, what is all this stuff? I want to know more about each and every little thing, and Black Panther does the same thing.
It's crazy, man. Marvel's
They are
taking some
this,
major
so
ass.
like I don't think Marvel has seen this is Marvel's most successful movie, right? Would you call this Marvel's most successful movie? It's not hyperbole.
I mean, it's up there. I mean, Avengers is probably its most successful in terms of just box office, but
It's turning into like something they
But
have
this
not
is a cultural
experienced
thing,
before.
right?
Yes, yes. Man,
yeah, it's successful in a different way. It's successful in the monetarily and culturally.
look, and it's great. You got Ryan Coogler, Chadwick Boseman, great cast. But do you feel like Kevin Feige's walking around like the fucking Godfather, in and out of meetings, just like walking in, not saying shit?
Oh yeah, definitely. But do you think, okay, if you could somehow subtract the hype from the cultural movement that this is, what do you think? Like, let's say like there was already a Black Panther like released by another company or something,
Yeah.
and this was no longer the first one.
Right.
Do you think it would have made the same box office?
No.
Okay.
There is that amount of hype where this is the first time that we're seeing all of these African Americans on screen.
It's just that like the way he presented it is it's such an organic transformation, organic story development of the Black Panther character. Like and starting him in Civil War was brilliant, and like it makes sense, and it's just the right time. It's crazy how I think that's why it's got similar. Like Force Awakens was so special because of the time, and it was kind of the first, and this is kind of like the same. This is the first, but
it's like Wonder Woman had that kind of hype, although this is killing Wonder Woman. Even
this is
in box office.
this is now made more money domestically than Wonder Woman.
I got a funny. I think I saw it on Fat Man on Batman.
Yeah.
But if you look at Chadwick Boseman's resume, like he's played Jackie Robinson,
Right, James Brown, Yeah.
T'Challa
Yeah.
as a Black Panther,
Yeah.
Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah.
So the running joke is eventually Chadwick Boseman will play himself in a movie as this pioneer in terms of the industry.
Chadwick Boseman playing Chadwick
As
Boseman
Chadwick Boseman.
in the Chadwick Boseman biopic
Right.
called Chadwick Boseman. That's way too meta. I found this great link from this website called EmilyCottontop.com. It's this Somali Twitter user. Her name is Waris. She's at Diasporic Blues. She broke down all the African culture and the influences of the costumes in this movie. I'll put this in the show notes. It's very cool because she breaks down here's where the lip plates are from this tribe in Ethiopia. Angela Bass's headdress looks like this Zulu traditional headdress. Even the Dora Milaje They look like people in southern Kenya and northern Tanzania. Like the amount of detail they went when you go through these, they nailed the look of Africa. It's pretty awesome, you guys.
Yeah, I've seen this, and the costume designer that did this is brilliant.
Ruthie Carter's amazing.
Not only does it take, influence from African culture, which is awesome, but it also distinguished this problem that Marvel had, where a lot of when big groups of people are fighting, they just make everyone kind of look the same.
Yes.
But by just color coding everybody, you were like, "Oh, I can see. Like this is what's happening."
That's true.
Now.
It was
the blue people are fighting the red people. I understand.
Yeah. It was easy to find the sides. Also, what you just said is something Bilotti mentioned in his comment on Facebook group. Did you notice kind of the red state, blue state? Like he divided this family, made them fight each other, and it was like red versus blue. Yeah. I don't know if that was intentional, but you could definitely read into that. There's so many things you can read into that. And then they came to a piece. Also in this article, it says the language spoken in Wakanda is Xhosa with an X. I think it's a click.
No, it's not Xhosa.
How do you say
it's not called Xhosa. It's called, it's called a Kosha.
There it is. There's a click.
Kosha.
There's a click.
There's the click.
And it's an actual language spoken by over 19 million people in South Africa. John Connie, who played T'Chaka, speaks this language. I think he's from South Africa.
The XH is
the click.
The click. Yeah. So Kosha.
And so it was his kind of idea. He's like, let's just speak this language, and they all learned to speak it. It was awesome.
It's crazy.
Awesome. The fucking.
I remember I watched Ryan Coogler do a break down one of the scenes, and he's going Kosha, and I'm like, why is he clicking like that? And then I looked up that's actually XH is one of the clicks, and then there's like which is another spelling.
They were clicking in the movie.
They were, yeah. So it's pretty awesome.
Ruggs, comment on any of these photos?
I'm not even looking at these.
Okay.
I'm just. Should I look at them?
No, it's fine. We're moving on. Not only.
I don't know how long you were going to go on about it.
We're done. We're done about. It's beautiful though. Like just look at the detail. It's very cool to see.
This is awesome.
Yeah. No, you're a little bit behind. What were you doing? Were you on the toilet?
I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
No, I don't want to say.
Okay, look. All right, shut up then. Not only is the movie number one for a second week in a row, the fucking soundtrack by Kendrick Lamar also number one 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, shit.
Not bad on the Billboard album chart. And also Kendrick Lamar wants to play the villain in the sequel.
The villain?
Yeah, he's like, I want to be involved, but he specifically wants to play the bad guy, he said.
Okay.
On a BBC radio interview.
I don't know if I've ever seen him act.
I don't know. Can he act? I mean, if he could bring like a Michael B. Jordan, I don't know. I thought that was funny. But he wants to be the bad guy.
No, Michael B. Jordan.
No, he's not
really good. He's a good actor. Come on.
Who's the best? Who's the best like hip hop
rapper actor?
Was it LL Cool J? Would you go Common? Would you go Ice-T? Ice Cube?
Oh, Ice-T's got a lot of television under his belt. Ice Cube has also wide range, but he kind of plays himself and everything. Not wide
Cool
range.
J?
Sorry. LL now just hosts lip sync rap battle.
Right.
Or lip sync
I'm going to say
battle.
Common.
Common is on that Showtime show, The Chi. He's on there. He's very good. He's a very good actor. Common, I think.
He's the first person that pops. Yeah. How we say rapper actor.
I mean, Snoop has done stuff, but as himself, and
but Snoop always plays himself.
Redman, they kind of play themselves.
They play themselves. Like those four, I think, are the ones that
I'm sure we missed one. The listener can.
I mean, like 50 Cent acts in some movies. And
Eminem did himself as Eminem. But Ice Cube though, like Ice Cube's had a long career, and his son is very good and straight out of Compton.
Ice Cube, and then brother Ice-T. Always on like every fucking cop TV show, right?
Which is hilarious. Right. The guy who wrote a song called Cop Killer spends a large part of his career playing a fucking
What about Sticky Fingers, who was Blade?
Oh, he had the TV series.
Not necessarily hip hop, but Tyrese is in a lot of movies.
I thought Tyrese is a musician.
He's an R&B artist.
Oh, I thought he was an actor.
He made his hay as an R&B artist.
Oh, see? Shit, I always thought Tyrese was like an actor. I didn't even know he played music.
What about Will Smith? He's a rapper.
Will Smith.
Oh, snap.
Will Smith is probably the best one, right?
Queen Latifah.
Latifah was also good.
Marky Mark was a rapper.
Mark
Wahlberg. You forgot about Marky Mark?
Mark Wahlberg.
Method Man, he's all right. Who else is good? Donald Glover raps.
Oh, that's true. Childish Gambino.
Drake was an actor before he was a rapper.
He was on Degrassi. Yes.
Drake is actually a pretty decent actor.
Sticky Fingers.
There's a lot. Will Smith, though, that's a big one. I remember when Fresh Prince first debuted, and I was really into Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, and I was like, holy shit, this fucking Fresh Prince.
All right, who's a better actor, Will Smith or Common?
Ooh, that's tough.
Most Def is also an actor.
Most Def is actually really good. I think Common's a better actor. Will Smith just has like that whole blockbuster package.
Will Smith, I would say, has more of that charisma.
Yes,
where it's like, oh shit. Like,
I think Common could handle the meteor role. Like he's more of an actor than just like a blockbuster actor. There's a lot. So fucking throw Kendrick Lamar and Black Panther too. Fuck it.
I don't know if Kendrick Lamar can act, but I was like, that's a good question.
Who could he be? He could be like Killmonger too.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. This wouldn't be his first role.
Oh, Ludacris is
Yeah.
in all the Fast and Furious.
Jesus Christ!
movies.
All the rappers got into acting. That's good. Tupac was in a movie or two.
Tupac was in a bunch of movies. I think Will Smith really set that standard. He was like rapper, TV, bam, I'm a fucking movie star.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I'm doing that shit. I'm following that path. And
I mean, now there's no money in fucking music.
No,
you got to fucking tour your ass off.
Yeah, you got to pay for it yourself and shit. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, I got a couple more Marvel bits of news, and then we'll take a quick break. Rumor on Avengers Infinity War. A couple of big things about Avengers Infinity War that just broke today.
You going to talk what about that?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later. First, let me talk about this rumor that came out before. Possible runtime points to 2.5 hours, making this the longest MCU movie to date, and I don't think that's long enough.
Make it forever.
It should just go on and on, and you could just come and go as you please. You buy a ticket.
Right.
The theater shows one movie for the rest of the
What's the longest movie you ever sat for?
Ooh, what was that?
Titanic?
There was
Titanic over 3.
Or Avatar?
Ooh, Avatar was
What's
long.
the runtime on Avatar?
That's a good question. I saw that fucking Das Boot.
The English Patient. No.
Das Boot was like 4 hours. I think I watched that. I don't know why.
In the theater? I don't believe
No, not
it.
in the theater. Das Boot is 4 hours and 53 minutes. I didn't watch it at one sitting.
Right.
Avatar is 2 hours 40.
So not as long as Avatar. Man, they should go 2 hours 40. Okay, so that's the one rumor. It's not been confirmed, but that's probably what's going to happen because you need all the time you can get. Here is the big deal. Shout out to Ray Swanson who posted this to the Facebook group first. Avengers Infinity War release date moves up 1 week to April 27th. Here's what was going to happen. This movie was going to open everywhere internationally, and then it was going to open in the U.S. last in May 5th, which sometimes it's not fair, but whatever. We had to sat through a lot. Now they're doing global day and date. All right, guys. Here's a couple of good things why it should do this. Rampage comes out a week before, starring The Rock. So they're probably worried. Anybody else who had a movie planned April 27th, too bad, so sad, you're fucked.
So Rampage is April 27th?
No, Rampage is the week before, right?
Okay.
So moving this back a week gives them an extra week before Deadpool 2, because Deadpool had moved into May, so it was getting crowded. Moving this back a week also gives Han Solo, the movie, an extra week of marketing space because it's quickly getting to the point where Disney is their own biggest competition. They have to really plan out their release dates now because between the Disneys and the Pixars and the Marvel movies, like they can't cannibalize each other. The planning has to be very tight. I also think this Disney and Marvel may be trying to grab the world record for a global movie opening.
Oh shit.
That they just look what Black Panther did. They could easily, if they put this out everywhere at once, we could have a record-setting global opening. And this will stop the international spoilers coming in. For everyone, this is not. I love this. Obviously, it's coming out earlier.
Marvel's proven by their release dates of February,
yes,
and March and November is the movie market used to be the first weekend in May is the start of summer, and that's when you release your blockbuster, and you can do it until the end of July, and then you can do one again around the Christmas. But now it doesn't fucking matter. People see movies regardless of when they come out, so they're fuck this first weekend in May.
We're moving it back.
Yeah, we're moving it up.
We're moving it up.
Traditionally, the first weekend of May is the kickoff to summer blockbusters, but they're fuck it, we don't need to do that. And Han Solo, that movie needs to make some money, and we're not going to fucking cannibalize our shit.
Yeah,
and Deadpool 2 could be part of Disney eventually.
Yeah, but right now it's competition.
Right now it's complicated.
I think that's a smart move because what they're going to do is open up their second week in the box office to be free of any competition. So what they're basically going to just own the box office those 2 weeks.
So
that's going to be insane. In their favor.
This is insane. And
did you just take a hit?
No, I cleaned out my vape. It was getting a little clogged.
I thought it was a fart. I'm cleaning out my ape.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
Look, I couldn't be more excited.
You didn't think we heard that, you son of a bitch.
This is the best gift you could give a geek.
Geek boner.
Right now, and they did it with of course, probably it seemed like a tweet exchange between Robert Downey Jr. and Marvel Pictures, which of course was set up and pre-planned, but he was like, hey, can this come out for everyone sooner? And they're like, okay, sir, Mr. Stark, and release that poster April 27th everywhere. Holy shit, this will be global domination. I think they're going to break even more records.
Is it that easy to just change a date?
I guess it is. This soon, too. They were planning to release this movie on the 27th internationally anyways. They just got to roll everything out all at once now. That's crazy. And then, I've read stories how Avengers 3 and 4 are going to be one big story tying up every MCU storyline to date, leading into the next phase. Which is nuts. Speaking of the next phase, they've also set release dates for 6 untitled Marvel films going into 2021,
Holy
2022.
Shit.
There's 6 more dates after Avengers 4. So, you guys, what will be the MCU post-Avengers 4? We know the Spider-Man sequel will be the first movie after Avengers 4, but I think we are looking at a very different MCU after that movie for these next 6 movies.
I would go Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
You would have to assume, I think they've already announced that they're doing a Guardians 3.
That's right, Guardians 3. You know what? I'm surprised they haven't
Black
announced.
Panther 2
I'm surprised they haven't already announced that.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to announce these movies because they don't want to spoil anything in Infinity War.
So I think in 2019 or close to Avengers 4, we will find out.
I could see a Doctor Strange sequel. I could see a Captain Marvel sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes up 5 movies.
Who survives? Is T'Challa in charge of the Avengers? Is there a whole new team? Is it Secret Avengers? It's New Avengers? Holy shit. There's so many things they could do. And now there's 6 more movies.
What's going to happen when that deal happens?
Well, that's very interesting. And I have some information about what Fox is doing right now regarding that deal. And we're going to get to that right after we take this quick break. I'm going to play some promos and we'll see you on the other side, listener.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Throwback Thursday from the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast, along with my co-host Bill. Every Thursday, we bring you classic hip-hop.
Classic. Classic.
You know, all the good stuff, the stuff that you forgot about, the golden age, pre-golden age, back to the original era.
For all the pioneers, I'm going way back.
Each week, we bring you hip-hop headlines, so we let you know what's going on with your favorite artists from back in the day. We bring you Wu News. We dedicate an entire segment just to the Wu-Tang Clan every week.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
We bring you 2 records. One is a one and done. One is a record of the week. We give you an artist of the month. We give you all the classics.
Classic. Straight classic.
Come and check us out. Every week we're on iTunes, Stitcher, and at MrThrowbackThursday.com. And if you remember nothing else, always remember, new school stale, old school fresh.
How you doing? My name is PJ. I'm from the Bickerbots Podcast. Bickerbots Podcast is basically what happens when you take a Republican, a Libertarian, and a Liberal and sit them all in front of the mics and discuss current events and most pop culture.
Would it be cheating to bang a smoking hot sex robot? Pack, please answer, because I need to know.
Oh, you need to know? So we here at the Bickerbots Podcast feel everyone's special, even the gingers. I'm going to apologize to all the ginger listeners at this time. Ray's a stout racist.
You just said they should be 50% off at the adoption homes. Just say it.
We care about worldly issues like our brothers down under and their sex-crazed koala bears. Koala chlamydia an all-time high and is spreading. Bro, get them koalas some fucking rubbers. Here at the Bickerbots Podcast, we don't judge people based on their sexuality.
Not all of them, but
it's their version. It's not like
so
our
they
version.
have. Okay, interesting.
Oh, you're starting to think about all them catching fucking, huh?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I listened to the bestiality episode. That was quite interesting conversation, let me tell you.
There's nothing interesting about it. It's just man, beast,
love.
Exactly.
Well, if you like what you heard, we're on Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, basically any platform you can download a podcast on. Doc and Nerd.
Hey, we got a great fan club over at jockandair.com/Patreon. It is a way for you, listener, if you've been enjoying the show, to help support the show financially with your generous donation, and you get access to an exclusive podcast feed, getting bonus content all the time. It's lots of fun. Shout out, huge thank you. We got another new patron this week, guys, by the name of Mark Boonanong. Boonanong. Mark, somebody, how'd you say
Mark
that?
Boonong?
Boonong. Mark Boonong signing up this week.
Mark, please correct us. Shoot us an email and tell us how to do it. How to say your name.
Thank you so much, Boonong.
How do you shoot? What's our email, Jock?
It's show@jockandnerd.com.
Yeah, there it is.
Send it phonetically.
I don't email us, so I don't know.
Why would you know your own email?
I don't call myself.
Right.
But Anthony, look, I wanted to, it's the first of the month, so we're going to do the reading of the names, which is very traditional because we have to thank all these people. But let's disclose a little bit of real talk where the money goes. Part of where
the money that you guys give us?
I see none of it.
Ruggs doesn't see any of it because we pay him in sandwiches, which is a lot cheaper than actually giving him money. But the money goes to host the media files you are listening to right now. The money goes to pay for the recording service we use to record everything separately so I can maintain quality audio. And I have some standards, people. The money goes to domain registration and website hosting, which we just re-upped for the year, and it was covered. Like, this is truly becoming listener supported. It's so exciting.
Awesome.
It's really awesome. It also goes for new and replacement equipment and stuff like promotional business cards. And Anthony, both Ruggs, I want to ask you, if we get more patrons, and I think that we could start maybe doing some raffles. Maybe everyone gets stickers. Patrons, let us know. Stickers. I'll send
you want a sticker?
You want a sticker? Some people like stickers. I will send it. I will mail.
What about Snickers?
What about free T-shirts? Let's get them a T-shirt.
Okay, maybe we do a raffle for a T-shirt once a month.
Yeah.
And everyone who supports us is eligible for the raffle. That could be fun.
That's not a bad
right?
idea.
That's a fun idea.
You get to wear my face on your chest.
Yes, you can wear Rugboy swearing. Look, listener, let us know if you like that idea. We will do a raffle once a month.
If everybody that pledges $1 pledges $2 a month, then we can do more shit.
Yes, double up. But I
don't think most. I know Wes was the one that answered.
Yes.
So we'll ask. Yeah. But like, how does it? What do you mean?
Yeah.
But
explain it.
For a good while, to put this show on every week, we were basically losing money. So it costs money to do all this shit, so we can't thank you enough for actually giving us some money.
Yes, it's amazing for that first time, like the amount of you guys are how you're supporting, you're literally producing, you're running the show. What's our other option is you're going to hear me say shit like, hey, listener, doesn't your bed suck? Or don't you hate going to the post office and using stamps? Or don't you wish you had pre-prepared meals sent to you that you could cook and put together? You're going to hear some bullshit ad read. Do you want that, listener? Do you want that?
Hey,
is your asshole dry?
Is your asshole dry?
If they start paying us, I'll fucking talk about your asshole. I don't care.
If there's someone out there that does want to give us...
Your balls smell?
Is your taint itchy? Well,
you go to bed at night and wake up in the morning. What?
Use the code.
If you have these symptoms,
use promo code
You're just an asshole.
Yeah, you're just an asshole. So look, let's avoid all that unless someone's out there with a product that relates and wants to give us a lot of money. We will discuss. But you don't want to hear no fucking live reads. That's why you should support the show. Okay, look, it's the first show of the new month. We have to thank all these people by name, but I wanted to do a little game here with you guys. All right. I wanted to play a version of the name game called the superhero name game. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read a name, and we're each going to go around. We are going to name one character from a comic book that starts with the last letter of the person's name.
The last letter?
Yes.
Okay.
Or should we do first letter?
Well, we could do whatever you want.
I don't know how this game works.
I'll go first.
All right.
So, here, anything that was printed in a comic book that's a character, a name of a person.
All right.
It's up for grabs.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
You just can't repeat yourself. For example, we'll start with our newest patron. Thank you to Mark Boonong. And I'm going to go Green Lantern. There, see? Green Lantern.
Okay.
So who's next? Me?
Anthony, yours is your Philip Milan.
Yes, Philip Milan. Also known as Namor.
Oh, that's pretty good. Rugs, a place to hang your cape.
That ends in an E, damn it.
Well, there's a lot of E's. Come on.
Jesus. Now this is going to take 3 hours.
Electro.
Yeah. There we go.
Thank you.
Moving on. Matt Delhauer is Robin. Anthony, Steve Morrison.
Shit.
Nightcrawler.
There you
There
go.
you go. Hey, you know what? Anybody just spit it out. We'll do that. Joe from work.
Kazar.
Okay, that works. Stephen Tran. There's a lot of N's. So
Nightshade.
Jimmy Graben.
Shit.
Nova.
Nova.
There you go.
Nova Glick.
I just said shit.
You said shit. Anthony Apodaca. Avengers.
There you go.
Okay, here's another N. Lisa Morrison.
We did them all.
No, there's more N's. How about
Nebula?
There you go. Jess Rivera.
Abomination.
Chaz Hebard.
Daredevil.
Gabriel Bosco.
Omega Man. I don't know.
Adam Morris, Spider-Man. I'm going to do that one. Matthew Lawrence.
Excalibur.
Wes Cranford. Did we say Daredevil?
Deadshot.
Deadshot's good. Travis Holton. Ah, crap.
Another N.
There's a lot of N's. How about Nate? You said Namor.
I said Namor.
How about
This is riveting, by the way.
Nomad. Nomad's good.
Nomad.
John Magat.
Teen Titans.
That
There you go.
works. Jimmy McPike will go Ego. Zika's Viral Comics. Easy.
Superman.
Ron Hans.
She-Hulk.
Blazing Caribou Studios.
Storm.
Oh, I was going to do one. That's good. Blake Braden. Crap. How about Njobo from Black Panther?
Okay.
That counts.
Okay.
I'll allow it. Steve Lee. Ego.
We said Ego.
You said Ego.
Crap. How about Enigma? Wasn't that the character from Vertigo?
Sure.
Bonner Demling.
Oh, Jesus.
Gee.
Guardian.
Joe Henry.
Why?
Yondu.
John Seifert. T'Chaka.
Yeah.
There you
okay.
go.
Joe Pope. Wow. Another E.
Oh, Jesus.
There's
Elektra.
Elektra
Yeah.
is good. And the last one, Brett Zafka.
Assholio.
There you go. We did it.
Well done. Thank you to all those patrons
This is what you pay for.
for your continued support.
We just wasted like at least, that was 8 minutes.
No, I
long,
knew
at
it would
least.
eat up time, which is why I wanted to do this. So
Yes.
thanks, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Okay, let's talk about Fox Marvel. Here's what's going on over there. This is really crazy. You were talking about what's going to happen after this deal. Well, apparently Fox is acting like this deal ain't happening. They are developing more new X-Men film properties than ever. They have many secret projects in development. One of them being a Silver Surfer standalone feature that's written by Brian K. Vaughan. Quote from a Fox insider, we actually have way more in development and production in Marvel IP than at any point in the history of the studio. There's been zero slowdown on that front given Disney. You guys, what is this? Is this like Deadpool giving them, and Logan giving them confidence that they're really doubling down on their X universe?
Well, in development, that just means that they're writing scripts and pre-vising.
Well, yeah, but we have 3 X-Men movies coming out soon. Deadpool, X-Men Dark Phoenix, and then New Mutants that got pushed to next year. But I heard they're adding a character to that in the reshoots. So that's always a good thing when they're adding a character. I think I think they can make it stronger. But what does this mean? Why are they doing this?
Well, I think what happens is if Marvel likes what it is, like if Marvel sees what's on the table and they like it, they'll just collect money from it. But if they're like, this is bullshit, we're not letting this come out, they're going to put a stop to it.
I don't know what to make of it.
I mean, I for one, hopefully they can get us out some more R-rated.
Like imagine you
R-rated
bought
movies.
a company
Yeah.
and they had all this stuff ready to go, and you're like, hey, let's print some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it goes against their universe and it won't jive with what they have set up, then they're going to squash it.
I mean, I would like to see a Silver Surfer movie written by Brian K. Vaughan. That's kind of exciting.
That
Norrin
is kind of
Rad.
exciting.
I would and like you can set up Galactus and do it right and shit.
Maybe they're just doing this to maybe like they're doing this because Disney's just like, hey, go do this, go get some of the legwork done, and Fox wants to make it seem like, oh yeah, look, we're still doing shit, but it's really Disney telling them to do it. I'm just throwing ideas out there.
I kind of like that they're hiring comic book guys to write these movies. They hired Brian Michael Bendis to work on this Project 143 that may be the Kitty Pryde solo movie, and now they got Brian K. Vaughan to write Silver Surfer. That to me is finally kind of getting it right because I'm always like, just hire the fucking comic book writers. What are you doing? Even though
I don't think that just hiring comic book writers is enough.
well, it's got to be the right.
You need to have the the Marvel brain trust there. That's kind of like molding it and keeping it, making sure that they're not like just taking their character and running with it.
Everybody needs a Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy. Let's move on to some DC Warner Brothers news. Joss Whedon has exited Batgirl after saying he didn't have a story. What? This
I think this is dubious.
Yes.
Yeah. I got a lot of thoughts on this one.
Joss Whedon saying goodbye. He said it's an exciting project, and he really didn't have a story. You're telling me Joss Whedon, who did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who's written comic books and directed the Avengers, he doesn't have a story for Batgirl? He can't pick up a fucking Batgirl comic book and work out a story?
Well, I don't think necessarily he's writing the whole thing, is he?
We keep hearing this about DC, though, is that people keep leaving on their own volition, but then we find out they were fired.
Yes. Could this have been a thing where they promised him Batgirl to finish Justice League, and then it bombed, and then they were like, you know what? We don't think we want you to do Batgirl.
I think a lot of that is true. I think they hired him to do Justice League. Like, hey, fix this. You did Avengers. You
bring us Avengers for us.
Bring us home for us.
He did not bring them Avengers.
He's like, I'll do Batgirl. So at the time, you're like, yeah, man, Joss Whedon, that's a hot name. He does Batgirl. That's right in his wheelhouse. Then Wonder Woman comes out, and there's all this female-created, female-directed superheroes with female leads. So now Whedon at first being considered like this activist for females, it's not necessarily what you need anymore. Then it comes out that he was like, what was it, like sexually harassing, or was it making lewd?
He got swept into that.
He got swept into some sexual thing that didn't look good for him either. So now it's like, well, you got this supposed feminist who's doing not so good stuff, and he's directing a female film that really no one's asking for.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It all kind of and Justice League bombs.
Yep.
There is some kind of stuff, but you know what? Like, it's just weird that the mentality. I saw all of these tweets and all of these Twitter articles, that they're like, oh, Joss Whedon shouldn't direct this movie because he's not a woman, and I'm like, okay, is this what people are gonna start saying now? Like, all these movies have to be directed by the people. You can't make a movie about anything unless the person is the same thing. It's got to be all
matchy-matchy.
We're doing the matchy-matchy thing?
Matchy-matchy. Look, I think the other thing is this Batgirl movie, according to this other article from The Wrap, the DC Films and Warner Brothers were in no hurry to move forward with Batgirl or Nightwing. According to this insider, they still want to focus on the core members. Now, they've given us Man of Steel, which is like one of their decent movies. They've given us Wonder Woman, a solid solo Wonder Woman movie. Aquaman we'll get into in a little bit. That's going to be a standalone movie. So I just feel like they don't want to do really Batgirl or worry about it right now. And they need a fresh start.
They really shouldn't do Batgirl.
No, it's too soon. You still got none of these things that they've announced are doing it.
What they need to do is really just focus on making one good movie at a time.
Look, if you give us a good Aquaman, now you have a good Wonder Woman, good Aquaman. You're starting to build something.
You got Wonder Woman. You got focus on Aquaman. Get that Wonder Woman 2 sequel out, and just go from there.
It's just funny that Joss Whedon was the man who put empowered women on the map with Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You can't do it gets taken down.
Not only that, now he's going out with like a whimper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Like this kind of feels like this is it for Joss Whedon in terms of like.
Whoa, you think so? He may have to like take a break and.
I don't know. It feels like he's going to go away for a little bit.
No, he's going to wait this out until the pendulum swings in the opposite direction.
Until we've moved on and it's moved back. Look, the crazy part about this article in The Wrap is at the very bottom, and this is what I put it in there, is it says at the end of this article, it says, in addition, a cloud looms over Warner Brothers because of the lawsuit by the Department of Justice against AT&T's $85 billion bid to buy studio parent company Time Warner. If the merger fails, an individual close to the company told The Wrap that Time Warner would likely be broken up into parts and sold separately as Warner Brothers, HBO, and Turner, leaving the fate of DC Comics a bit up in the air.
Oh, shit.
There's so many things in the air. If this merger gets fucked up, they could sell off pieces of it, leaving Disney in another position to buy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, wouldn't if you were Disney, wouldn't you just buy DC and integrate that into your...
Buy DC Comics if they were going to sell it, parts of that? Holy shit.
If you introduce Superman into the Marvel Universe... What would happen?
What would happen? What would they
Your
even...
whole entire childhood would just be destroyed.
Dude, we could be looking at a world where Disney owns both Marvel and DC Comics. Absolutely.
Well, at that point, you would just you integrate DC in. It's a no-brainer.
Do
right?
you, or you keep it separate? You still run them separate, but you're just making all the money. But then
the money. I mean, you could keep them separate, but how much money do you think you'd make with like
that? Would be
Batman
like doubling your staff, keeping everything separate.
Right.
When all there are is characters.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. So
that'd be. I mean, I remember as a kid, like I bought the DC versus Marvel comics
amalgam.
The amalgam. They did like in the '90s.
Yeah,
I have 2 of the issues. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever read.
Oh no,
I never read that. It didn't look good.
Well, as a kid, I was. I'm not saying it as an adult, but as a kid, I was like, this is everything I've ever wanted.
I like that there's competition. I like that they compete with one another and push each other to be better. And that there are two rivals. It's always good to have
competition. Is always better.
Yeah, but it's not. We're gonna have Disney, Amazon, Netflix, Apple. I mean, not Netflix, Google. That's all. When
it turns into one corporation that tells you how to think, how to feel, then you're gonna be like,
Jesus. Yeah. But and if that merger doesn't go through, this Fox Disney merger may also get blocked. So, speaking of Aquaman, they've had a test screening. And early reactions say it's emotional and tonally similar to Wonder Woman. Now, the test screening people also thought Suicide Squad was a good movie. So I don't know how much to trust these early test audiences.
Yeah, but that's true.
They're calling it an emotional action movie. So I guess that bodes
Patrick
well.
Patrick Wilson is apparently standing out as Orm.
As steals
I'm not a big fan of Momoa, to be honest with you.
Really, as Arthur?
I just don't. I mean, I think he's okay, but I think a guy that looks like that should have a lot more screen presence. And I feel like every time he's on the screen, I'm not like gravitated to watch him.
A little underwhelming,
right?
That's interesting. I mean, we haven't seen him like really be by himself, take the stage.
Yeah, he was in the Hercules, I think. Reboot.
Oh,
he was Conan.
Conan. There you go.
I don't even remember that.
I don't think that movie was a terrible movie. Just it ended terribly.
Yeah.
The ending, they built up the bad guy in that movie like he's gonna get the powers, and if he gets the powers, he's gonna become a god. And then he got the powers, and nothing happened.
They're bringing back Conan like a TV show. I forgot. There's gonna be somebody made a deal. I don't know if it was Amazon or somebody for Conan TV show.
I like Conan as a character, but they never really get him right.
Dude, I would be down for like an awesome like HBO barbaric fucking TV show about Conan. Conan. But hopefully
TV
we'll see.
Host?
Yeah, big red-haired, muscle-bound guy. Hopefully we will get a trailer for Aquaman soon. It is coming out at the end of this year. They haven't put out anything. I think they have to wait till all this Marvel shit dies down.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
There's no point in putting anything out right now. It's probably what they're seeing. Last bit of DC film and news. We have someone being looked at for a villain role on Wonder Woman 2, the sequel, to play Cheetah. Apparently, they're looking at Kristen Wiig, old SNL alum Kristen Wiig, to play Cheetah in Patty Jenkins' sequel, Wonder Woman 2.
Anyone seen her in a dramatic role?
No. So this one's going to be set in the 80s during the Cold War. She actually, what has she done? I think she can kind of pull off a straight dramatic role with a little dry humor. Ruggs, what do you think about Kristen Wiig as Cheetah?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, I don't like it.
Is this because are they going towards a more like quippy, funny tone for all these movies now?
I hope not.
Yeah, that'll kind of ruin it.
I don't want that. I think Wonder Woman was good because it set a great tone. It was like serious, had little bit moments of levity here and there, and there was a heart to it, and it wasn't too cheesy. You know, it took itself somewhat seriously. So I don't know if they're gonna. I mean, it's either they're gonna do the Cheetah in CG, which now it's going to be a CG fest again. The bad guy's going to be a CG fest. So, like, I mean, Kristen Wiig's only going to do like the part of the woman who's either an archaeologist,
right? The mocap,
or
and
like,
then mocap maybe.
Yeah.
Or no,
there's
they could mocap somebody else.
There's two versions, or there's a bunch of different versions of Cheetah.
Right.
But one is like a actress or something, or like a socialite, a famous chick, and the other one is like an archaeologist.
Oh, Barbara Ann Minerva. Was Cheetah, British archaeologist.
She's got a ton of different origins.
Yeah. But I'm thinking it's going to be one of those two.
Like a Charlize Theron would have been nice for a Cheetah, but we'll see if we could pull it off.
Wig, I don't know. I don't know if
is she going to be intimidating enough? Crazy. I don't know.
I don't know. I just think that
it's a very weird pick.
Like you could have taken any of the people that played in Amazon, plucked them out,
right, and made them Cheetah.
Look at all those women that look like they're badass, and then you're going to put Kristen Wiig in there, who kind of looks like she weighs like 80 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah, how's she going to be like intimidating Cheetah?
The first thing I thought of was like when Robin Williams or like Adam Sandler stepped out and did non-comedy stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But Robin Williams could pull it off.
Robin Williams could pull off
Adam
a Psycho.
He killed that
photo movie.
No, I mean the one with the Go Will Hunting. He was fucking great in that.
He is the villain in Insomnia too, I think, and he was the bad guy in the photo movie.
He was real creepy.
I mean, clearly the depression was there, based on how he went out. So, like, he's tapping into something real. But he's amazing in those crazy roles. So, yeah, weird pick. Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, Wonder Woman 2. Let's see.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Let's see if it happens.
I'm not jazzed about it. I'm like, conciliatory about it at best.
Yeah, it's just weird. Okay, a couple of quick TV notes for fans of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I still am. I'm still watching. They're in the middle of season 5. This is coming back after DC mandated a season 5 when we didn't know it was coming back. But the way they're writing for the season 5 finale, the writers are prepared. They're going to write it as if the show is being canceled. So I think that's a smart move. I don't know. Disney is going to force them to ABC to renew this again. Ruggs.
Man, let me just say I don't watch the show, but I've been on the. That means it's going to get canceled every year. It's been pushed back and the days. So I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. I can't read the tea leaves at all on this show.
This is a show that moved from night to night, from time slot to slot, time slot.
Every time I was
further.
like, that's a bad sign.
That means it's going to get canceled.
And it didn't get canceled.
Oh, it's moving to 8, it's getting canceled. Oh, you're moving to Friday at 7, it's going to get canceled.
Definitely get canceled now.
Friday at 9? Oh, now it's going to get canceled. Nope. Makes it season 5. I think it's a really fun season. You got time travel and space and Kree, and it's fucking insane, crazy shit. But I don't know if Ruggs, what do you think? Should they give it another season, or should they just write this as the end?
I think they should end it.
I think they might should too.
I think when it goes on this long, it should end.
So the 100th episode is coming up next week, March 9th, and it features the return of Hive and Lash.
Geek Boner.
We'll be back in the show on the 100th episode. Tune in. I'll be there.
Which one is Lash? Is that the dad?
Lash was the doctor who played him, Blair.
Black guy.
The black guy, Blair. What's his name?
May's boyfriend.
May's husband or boyfriend.
May's husband.
Right.
He was Lash, and then Hive is like, are they bringing?
He was like the guy that looked like Blanca.
Yeah.
Yes.
Blanca.
It was really bad with like the fucking really shitty dreads coming out of his head. And then I guess Absorbing Man's going to be back. Maybe we'll even see Deathlock. But I'm still enjoying the show, and I will enjoy it till the end. It'll be sad to see it go, but man, I don't know. I think, leading in with the Inhumans probably didn't help, and I don't know how the ratings are right now.
No, I just think that the show is like, it's had some great moments. It's had its great storylines, and they're really like, they're not going to get better, I don't think.
Yeah.
The budget's not the same.
Yeah.
So they can't really go anywhere. And they They blew up the fucking Earth.
Well, but now they're back. It hasn't happened yet. They went back before.
I know, but now like it doesn't matter anymore because now like nothing means anything.
Yeah, because you know that the Earth is going to blow up. So if they write a satisfying ending, I'll be totally happy with saying goodbye to the show after 5 seasons. Because really, season after season, nobody thought the show would fucking last and survive, and it managed to get better marginally and do crazy things.
I heard it has gotten a lot better. So
yeah, I mean, I think every season it's improved.
It's one of those things where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. should have like started off as this little show.
Yes.
And it should have become this behemoth, like kind of like Game of Thrones, where like it started off as this show, and then by the time that you get to the last season, it's just like this fucking huge spectacle.
It should have like flown under the radar and been really small scaled and then built. I agree. That would have been neat.
And what it did was just peter out.
Right.
Yeah. And then they didn't kind of know where they were going.
I mean, it came out after Avengers, and everyone's like, "Oh man, the Avengers! You'll watch them every week." And that was not what the show was ever going to be.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another show people aren't watching, and it's The Walking Dead. People.
Oh, I quit on that.
Okay, so you quit? You out? Damn.
I still haven't watched the last 3 episodes before the mid-season.
Walking Dead, you hear that? Anthony quit you. The mid-season premiere happened, and it was...
I fell asleep during it.
It was an hour and 20 minutes long, and it was the lowest rated mid-season premiere ever in the history of...
How many did they lose?
The show. Let's look at the numbers, which is surprising because spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
I don't care if you watched it or not. You knew at the break, Carl got bit. We saw the fate. You saw the death of a beloved character that has been on the show since the beginning, and it debuts to the lowest mid-season premiere ratings ever. Carl is gone.
You hit that spoiler button?
Nice. I did. We said goodbye to Chandler Riggs. You literally watched the kid grow up. It was actually kind of touching. It was sad when you think about, they showed clips from the first season and he's a little fucking kid. Like, you saw him grow up. Sunday's premiere drew a 3.6 rating in adults and 8.3 million viewers. That's up slightly from the mid-season finale ratings in December, but still was the lowest rated Walking Dead mid-season premiere to date.
I mean, they've lost. So just to give some context, 4 years ago, season 4, they were at 15.8 million.
There you go.
Now they're at 8. They've lost basically half their viewers in 4 years.
The mid-season premiere was 15.8.
You look at the last 2 years. 2017, they were at 12 million. 2016, they were at 13.6. So they've just been losing.
Huge fucking drop off. Now, look, it was nice, Ruggs. You fell asleep.
Yeah,
What'd you think? Aside from falling asleep,
I felt like it was just taking too long.
They dragged it out a little bit.
Yeah, it was really dragging out the story. However, and I just fell asleep.
What about fucking Terminator badass Morgan, who was killing? They had to stop him from killing motherfuckers. He must have killed like 20 people.
Yeah, he was going.
He was the Punisher. He was gone, dude. He would kill them and make sure to drive a stick in his head.
I just kept on looking at his dumb armor. I'm like, what does that do?
It's like the.
What are they wearing that for? I'm just so stupid.
Well, it's like finding like catcher's padding and sports armor.
No, it's way more armor than that. Come on, it's just like dirt bike armor. It's like not even doing anything.
Chandler Riggs off the show, whether he was fired or there was the whole thing about his dad being mad because he wanted to go to college and they screwed him. I don't know, but he's gone. And I don't know. I'm still watching the show, but yeah, no one else is, apparently. I have a couple of comic book related bits of news that I thought were very interesting to wrap up the news segment. You guys, you ever get that not so fresh feeling? Anyone?
All the time.
All the time, Ruggs? Well, Marvel Comics can help you out because they've teased a fresh start for their entire line. Starting at number 1 again.
Shit.
Why does this
What
sound...
do they mean fresh start?
Why? Well, they're going to bring back...
bullshit before, this idea.
I guess they're going to bring back the original Thor. You know, Thor went through that whole crazy transition where he wasn't worthy, then lost his arm, and then Jane Foster was Thor, and then he was another Thor, and then I don't know what the fuck happened. They're going to turn that back. They're going to start renumbering things again from number 1. They want to give it a jumping off point. The reason
my God, this sounds like, this is the same thing they do every year.
The reason this sounds familiar is, according to this other Hollywood Reporting article, this will be the 7th restart since 2012.
Oh, shit.
7 times. What the fuck, Marvel? You went from Amazing Spider-Man number 1. You just went back to 700 on Amazing Spider-Man, and now you're going to start again with number 1. I'm confused. I don't think this is a good jumping on point. I don't get what they're doing.
They're looking to do something that's not going to happen. People are not going to read comic books other than the people who already read them. You might get maybe like a 5% more people. That's it, dude.
That is the issue.
If you can get anything, it's 5%. You're flooding the market with all these fucking movies. You don't need to read the comic books anymore.
No, the comic books, number one, aren't a moneymaker, and number two, it seems like what they're doing is they keep doing this refresh reband, so that you buy you have number ones, and everyone's like excited about number one. So then you might get a little influx because it's a number one, I'll buy it. That's just a starting off point, but it's getting to the point of diminishing returns, in my opinion, because people now this is the 7th time you said they've done this.
7th time since 2012.
So people are wising up to this. This isn't a gimmick. This is obviously a gimmick that people can catch on to at this point.
Just imagine the one title you've had like 7 number ones, and so none of these things are fucking worth it.
Why did they not need to make number ones in 40 years until now?
No, I don't know. It's
because they weren't flooding. You could not watch a show other than a cartoon here or there of Marvel and DC. And they were like paled in the comparison. They were like kiddie things.
Yeah.
Compared to what they could do in the comics. So now you have so much video games and all this other bullshit. People getting these comics for free online. There's a million sites you can get comic books online.
Yeah, you can BitTorrent a lot of that. So
you don't even need the BitTorrent. There's sites you can just go
there. You can just read it. That's true, actually. You just read this, and it's all the pages are right there. You're like, this is great.
So
I don't think this is. I mean, it's more the same. It's not going to help them. I think so. I've heard Image is adopting this new kind of strategy, and I think this kind of makes sense. They're turning their books into seasons, like TV shows, like Netflix shows. They will put out like an 8-issue arc, and then take a break, and then they'll put out the trade, and then they'll come back for another arc, and it's giving artists the time to draw better.
Enough?
I mean, it depends. Like Saga is doing 8-issue arcs, and so now it gives their artists more time to work on stuff where they're not on this monthly deadline where they have to work really quickly.
It sounds like a Mark Miller thing.
Yeah, it's following that kind of Netflix binge.
But that's not enough. It's not enough.
Do you think that'll help?
No. I mean, I do think that it'll make it more easily collectible, but even that's kind of a flimsy, book to get 8 issues. That's I mean, normally you get 6, right? When you get a trade.
Yeah. Depends on the trade. Anthony, do you think that'll help people coming in the comics if they take breaks and put them out in these seasons that are just story arcs in themselves you can follow?
I think it'll help a little bit, but I agree with Rugboy. It's just people don't really give a fuck about comics anymore.
Look, it's hard.
It's one of those industries where it's if you're a kid, it's not all that accessible because you walk into any first off, comic book stores are dying.
Yeah.
Second, you walk into a store and it's not cool. There's it's 30 to 40-year-old. It's 30 to 40-year-old men that smell bad. This isn't a very inviting place to walk into.
Not even all the Magic the Gathering playmats on the tables.
Imagine walking in as a kid with your mom and you see
hey, toys.
You see your happy ass over. You gonna be you want to hang out there?
Hey kid, Mommy, I'm scared and he smells funny.
I just don't think comic books as an industry.
Yeah, but you go to the video game store, the same smelly guys are there too.
Yeah, but video games are cooler than comics.
Yeah,
watching things is cooler than reading.
Playing things. Well, look,
reading sucks.
I still occasionally go to Pastimes and pick up my pull list. And so some of the things I'm still reading is Saga, and I'm still reading Amazing Spider-Man, written still by the Dan Slott. Ruggs, are you buying or reading any of this?
No.
Do you? Here, I'm going to ask you a question. You could probably guess.
Why do you keep asking me if I read Dan Slott?
So I'm just going to...
you know that I don't.
Look, we're just going to show you an example of how predictable maybe Slott's writing can be. Let's see if you can deduce what's going on right now in Amazing Spider-Man comics. Ruggs, here, fill in the blank. Norman Osborn is now blank. I'll give you 3 guesses.
Okay. Oh, I can just guess whatever I want?
Yes. Okay. Norman Osborn is now blank. This just happened in the last issue.
Now a woman.
No, that's a good guess, though.
Is now Spider-Man.
No. He's already done that with Doc Ock, so he wouldn't do that. What else would he do?
He's now a good guy. No, he is now Peter's. He's taking care of Peter or something.
Norman Osborn is now Carnage. He's bonded with the Carnage.
God, that's even worse than anything I could think of.
I knew you would love the fact
That's awesome. I love Rugboy's reactions to this stuff.
So,
this is I can't believe this.
He's bonded with the Carnage symbiote, but maintains control. Like he almost outthought the symbiote, and he's like, "I'm in charge." But we are now Carnage. What I was like, holy fuck. My point is once Dan Slott is over, he's
called the Red Goblin.
Oh, yes, it's gonna be the Red Goblin. So it's gonna be like a Green Goblin Carnage fucking mashup going after Peter. That's kind of crazy, but it's like, what else do you do after doing every combination? Of course.
Yeah, how many times can you just put all the characters together in a blender?
Norman Osborn is now Carnage. Of course he is. Why not?
You know what? I was close because Carnage is part of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so that is like a backdoor way of making Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald Spider-Man.
What's it? Who are we talking about?
Meantime, Doc Ock is in a Peter Parker clone as the Superior Octopus, wearing a suit that's like white with spider eyes.
Oh my God! I want to.
Doc Ock's brain
I want to
mind
wipe myself right now.
All of that is to say we have the next creative team on Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
Guess who it is?
Well, I know the artist is Ryan Ottley.
Ottley, who comes from Invincible. What's his name from Robert Kirkman's book?
He's interesting.
He's a good. And I have a link. There's some art in this Amazing Spider-Man 1. Writing Amazing Spider-Man is Nick Spencer, the controversial Captain America Secret Empire writer.
Oh shit!
Now what's he going to be? Is Peter going to be a clone the whole time? Is Peter going to be Hydra? Is that what happens?
I don't know. I'm not reading it either.
They're really into the let's piss people off sort of thing,
right? A little bit. They kind of like trolling their audience.
Comics, no one's reading them anyways, so whatever, right?
Fuck it. But I'm curious to see what Nick Spencer can bring to Spider-Man. Like that's kind of exciting.
Really?
Anyway,
are you reading?
I'm reading Amazing Spider-Man.
Are you still?
I just said I'm buying it. I bought it. That's what's happening. I read it.
Oh my gosh!
I read Norman Osborn becoming Carnage.
Was this the first time you bought it, and how long, or have you been keeping up?
No,
I've been reading it the whole time.
I've been reading it the whole time.
Oh gosh!
Yeah, I gotta read my Spider-Man. It connects me back to a simpler time when I discovered comic books.
You know, it was a very sad time when I used to read Spider-Man my whole life too. So
yeah.
That's it, man. Dan Slott just ruined it for me.
Well, Nick Spencer may save it.
I hung in through Paul Jenkins. I hung in through fucking everybody,
Nick
man.
Nick Spencer won't bring you back, Ruggs?
No.
Who would bring you back? Who would bring you back? You should read the Chip Zdarsky one. It's very good. Anyways.
If you were to write it, I'd probably.
Oh, all right.
Or if Scott Weinstein were to write it, I would probably read it.
We'll get on that. That's the end of the news. I want to take just a couple of minutes to talk about Ryan Coogler's first movie. It came out in 2013. Fruitvale Station, that you can find on Netflix. It's got a 94% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.1 out of 10. He made this for $900,000. Made him $17 million. Now, for a first film, I really enjoyed it. I was like, wow, this is pretty fucking good. It's deep. It's a tragic movie. It makes you think. Fruitvale Station.
I made it seem like last week that I'd seen it.
Yeah.
I'd never actually seen it.
Yeah, but then now you watched it.
But I watched it, yeah, because
Ryan Coogler
Ryan Coogler and even before Rugboy messaged us, I was like, I'm going to watch this movie. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
So.
No, and I didn't know it was on Netflix, and I was like, fuck, I'll watch it too.
Yeah,
so,
Michael B. Jordan.
Anthony, what'd you think? I just want to talk like stylistically some of the things we've seen, how he's grown in terms of his movie making. What'd you think of the movie though?
I mean, his style has definitely grown for sure. Like this movie has a lot of like cameras just following people walking, like over the shoulder.
Shots. He loves the tracking shot. Clearly.
Yeah, I mean, it stylistically for me there wasn't much there, but honestly, I just thought Michael B. Jordan was solid, and the story was one of those where it was like just a good enough story where you were like enthralled by what was happening on screen and feeling emotions.
Yeah.
But I think Creed is a way better film in terms of actually seeing his style.
Yeah.
He grows more as a director, as a visual director.
Right.
Like in Fruitvale Station, it's all about the characters and the acting.
Yeah.
The cinematic quality, as Anthony said, is not really much there. So, but you could see that he's a character-driven guy, and that's why Black Panther, the characters are so important, and they're so like well fleshed out.
Yep.
And they're interesting to watch because he really cares about the people on screen and in their story. So, it's a powerful story to tell. Fruitvale Station. It's a real story. It actually happened.
Inspired by, if you guys don't know, it's the story of Oscar Grant, a 22-year-old Bay Area resident who that ends up in a tragic way at the end of the movie. On the New Year's 2009.
I mean, it's not a spoiler. It happened. He gets shot by police.
That's true. He gets shot by the police, and you see it, and you're like,
for no reason.
Yeah, you're like, who trains cops to shoot someone in the back while they're laying face down? Apparently, the guy said he thought he was reaching for his taser, but they really weren't doing anything. But throughout the movie, you learn the good and the bad of Oscar Grant. Kind of like he's a father. He loves his kid. He loves his mom, but he also can't hold a job. He's selling drugs. He's trying to stop selling drugs. Thinking about the future.
He's got a temper.
He was in jail at one point, but trying to change his life around.
It's one of those movies where it's, and you know, I hate to I'm not trying to criticize Ryan Coogler, but the story is there that where it's going to make an impact regardless, so as long as you don't fuck it up.
Right.
Really, I mean, really, you just hire some good actors. Shoot
and a
the
lot
scenes
of it,
competently, and the story's there where it's you're gonna come walk out of that feeling something.
But you do see his love for like the long take and following characters and kind of letting the camera settle there.
I did like the text messaging thing. I thought that was a nice
when that
little
popped up, that's very nicely
that
integrated.
Nice. Yeah,
and you kind of feel like you were just an observer watching things happen, almost like you're eavesdropping sometimes, which I like. I like those kind of choices. But yeah, man, Michael B. Jordan is just like, because you don't really know. Like, you feel for him, but you're like, maybe he's up to some bad shit, but he's like, what's up, bruh? I'm going to have to meet you outside, bruh. And so he gets a little aggro. He gets a little intimidating, but he's like he's a soft guy. So, you know.
Now, do you think that those cops were going to do something fucked up no matter what happened? Like they were they kind of looked like they were looking for trouble.
Yeah, a little bit. That one guy definitely did.
I kind of looked up like what kind of happened. Besides just the movie, because obviously the movie,
he takes
everyone has an agenda, right? I mean, the movie even has this agenda of portraying Oscar Grant.
Yep.
So I looked at what might have happened. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I could see. Maybe this is me giving humanity a little bit more credit. I could see like a cop panicking, grabbing the wrong gun.
Yeah.
Like thinking, I don't know. But I don't want to defend the guy. But I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Still a tragedy.
Regardless, the guy died for basically no reason.
A couple of crazy things in real life regarding that incident where the police never stopped that train to get witness testimony. All those people filmed the shit and watched it, and they let the train go to the next stop. So they didn't even really file a report of what happened. They filed some other report. There was a lot of like weird cover-ups and shenanigans going on with this.
I mean, I even in the film when Oscar Grant is portrayed as like standing up and like putting his hands on the policewoman and separating her from his friend. You can't do that.
Yeah,
you certainly can't touch anybody.
Yeah, he touched her.
So he did touch. I don't know. It's a movie, right? So I don't know what happened.
Yeah. And he does embellish. He adds certain things like the scene with the dog, I think actually happened to him, and he just put it in there. So
I think the big takeaway is that Michael B. Jordan is a good actor.
Yeah,
Michael B. Jordan's a great actor, and you see Coogler out of the gate, just very good with his camera, with his actors, crafting a great piece.
in getting a good take.
Yeah.
Some directors don't know what a good take is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he knows how to get a good take.
And you see it's so real. So, I mean, it's great. I'm going to watch Creed, see how he evolves.
Oh, you're going to love it.
When you watch Creed, you should talk about what you thought on here.
Oh, absolutely. We will come back and touch base about Creed, but I highly recommend Fruitvale Station.
Even with all the hype around Black Panther.
Yeah.
Creed is still his best.
Now, Creed is his best movie, you think?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100% definitely. Because I couldn't wait to watch it a second time.
Right.
I mean, I love that he is, watching Black Panther has really got me excited about going back and watching his movies. I can't wait to watch Creed. Here's his next movie he's working on. It's called Wrong Answer. Directed by him, but written by Rachel Aviv and Ta-Nehisi Coates, writing the screenplay.
Here's a question for you. before, or do you have more on that?
Well, here's what it's about. It's a math teacher in Atlanta is scandalized when he looks to get funding for his school by altering his students' test score. So it sounds like another based on a true story kind of thing.
What are you more excited to see? Ryan Coogler's next film that he directs, or Michael B. Jordan's next role
that he's in? Yeah. Oh shit, man! Either one of those would be great. Together they're great. I mean, look, Michael B. Jordan was in Fan-Fantastic. He was the best thing in that movie. It wasn't his fault. So I don't want to see that.
I have two additional questions.
Yeah.
I have number one, if Michael B. Jordan wasn't in this movie, it wouldn't be as good.
Black Panther?
One.
Yes.
No.
Oh, Fruitvale.
Oh, Fruitvale Station.
Yes.
I guess all three
of them.
All three of Coogler's
Yes,
films.
all three.
Yes.
So I think that there is something to be said about Michael B. Jordan being the star of these movies. His charisma really takes the movies to another level. I don't think it would have been as I don't know. It may not have been as strong of a movie without him.
Well, I mean, look, the pairing of when an actor finds a director that they really gel with, that's always a great pairing. You know, you've seen it time and again with Scorsese as his guys and Tarantino as his guys. Spike Lee has his people that come back. So I just love watching that grow because you got two really confident people telling a story. Shit, I don't know. I'm excited.
I think that
for
Michael B.
Coogler's-
Jordan's best acting is in
is in
Creed
the Coogler
2.
movies.
I agree.
Yeah. So he clearly knows how to get the best performance out of
I would
him.
agree that his acting overall is the. I mean, I saw him in Fantastic Four. I saw him in that like dating movie with Zac Efron.
He's in Chronicle.
He's in Chronicle.
Oh, he is in Chronicle.
His
He's
best
good in that.
performance. I think him and Coogler are. They got a thing going on.
Pulls out his best
Look,
performances.
The guy that did Chronicle did Fantastic Four, and he wanted him in that movie too.
Right.
So he's impressing all kinds of directors.
That's true.
So.
I'm more excited. I mean, I'm more of a. I don't appreciate directing as much as acting, so I'm more excited for Michael B. Jordan's.
So he's this came out. Michael B. Jordan's going to be in the TV movie version of that book for Fahrenheit 451.
I remember reading that book when I was like in 8th grade.
So
this is the perfect thing to come out now too.
Yes, and he's playing Guy Montag. I've never read the book, but that's coming out this year.
You know what this is about, right?
It's where they burn the books, controlling information and controlling people.
Yeah, it's basically the future where books are considered to be a threat to the way of life because they have conflicting opinions.
Wow, he plays the lead in this, directed by Ramin Bahrani.
You know where this is being distributed?
It will say
it'll be HBO, right?
HBO.
It's an HBO show. Dude, it stars Michael B. Jordan, Sophia Boutella, Michael Shannon. Wow, great cast already. Yeah, it's about a Guy
totally
Montag.
there.
Guy Montag is the lead. His job as a fireman is to burn all books, questions his actions after meeting a young girl, begins to rebel against society. Dude, he's playing Killmonger again.
I remember reading the book and I was like, this is pretty
dope.
Heavy, yeah.
And then he's doing Creed 2 also at the same time, pre-production on Creed 2. So, yeah, all good shit. Check out Fruitvale Station, and I will now watch Creed, and we'll get back to you. We'll talk about that. Okay, I got some mailbag and audio comment to wrap up the show. John Bellotti Jr. checking in, saying halfway through the last episode, and I realized that one of the best parts of the show is Rugboy doing his Stan Lee impersonation.
Not anymore.
I loved it the last time that he did it, and the world, wants to hear more of it.
I hope you're happy.
I hope you're happy, Bellotti. We gave you that earlier. Bill Vincent writes, maybe one of my favorite episodes about our Black Panther review because I finally agree with Rugboy on a movie review.
Oh, so this guy's got bad taste.
Which feels like it hasn't happened in a while, with the exception of The Last Jedi. And got to hear some talk about my Eagles. Loved most recent episodes, guys. Wakanda forever. Thanks, Bill. He must be from Philly. New listener joined our Facebook group, Matt Miller. He sent this in today. He says, hey, guys, I never listened to podcasts before. I stumbled upon your show, and I absolutely love it. The coverage of sports, barely, and more so the nerd news allows me to geek out hard anywhere, and I always get looks when I laugh out loud, forgetting I'm around the normies in the world. But love the show overall, the personalities, and content, so keep it coming. Also, a shout-out will give me a geek boner.
Geek boner.
There it is,
go,
Matt. Wipe yourself up, Matt.
Clean up after yourself.
Make sure you clean up. Thanks for listening, Matt. David Malofsky just tweeted, @ReallyRugboy, I just watched Black Panther again. You're right about the X-Men music cues.
Thank you for the vindication. I said that's what I tweeted him back.
Validation for the rugs. I still don't remember. And finally, we have here an audio comment with a couple of questions. Here it is.
What's up, dudes? This is Chaz Hibbard. I really have been enjoying how interested in my name Imran seems to be. I've seen a lot of clickbait stuff on the interwebs about how Michael B. Jordan's performance as Killmonger compares to Heath Ledger's as the Joker. I'd like to get you guys' thoughts on that, even though you kind of already did your Black Panther stuff. And I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. Everybody's been on about asking Anthony Jock questions. How much of a boost do you think Canelo's going to get for fighting on Cinco de Mayo with his rematch with Triple G?
I have no idea what that means, the second part.
Do you want me to answer that first?
Let's work backwards.
A boost. I don't really know what he's getting at.
What is he talking about?
I would, if he's assuming that like he's gonna feel like he might win because he's fighting on Cinco de Mayo, like because he'll have more fan support. That really has no factor in terms of his fighting. The crowd isn't in there with him. And the last time he fought Triple G, I mean, it was a pro Canelo crowd anyway. So fighting on Cinco de Mayo is really no factor in terms of.
This is MMA?
This is boxing.
Oh, this is boxing.
I always feel more powerful on 4th of July.
Not Cinco de Mayo.
So it's Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin. They're two of the best at their weight. They had a boxing match last fall, and it ended in a draw, although I thought Triple G won. So they're having a rematch, basically.
Nice. Okay. Well, Chaz.
But
I hope
I don't. Maybe he can like clarify what he means by a boost, because if he's saying that like a boost in terms of
gives
like,
him an advantage.
Gives an advantage. No, not really.
It's just a day.
It's just a day.
It don't matter.
Right.
I need to get into a fight on the day of a Romanian puppet holiday.
I rest during that day. As for his other question, wow, Michael B. Jordan, Eric Killmonger up against Heath Ledger, Joker.
No. Right. I'll tell you why.
Okay, you're saying Joker is still top
because there's a precedent. People know what the Joker is.
Yeah.
Killmonger's a blank slate. He can make it whatever he wants.
Yes, I think
so.
Yes,
there's no precedent.
Ledger had
I'm not saying that
challenge.
detracts from his performance. His performance was great, but I just think that's a bigger cross to bear when you're doing a character.
I would agree too. Like when you take a big risk like that, and then you deliver, it's going to be remembered for a long time. Also, two other things. That role, he was given more to do. Like he was in that film for a lot longer than Killmonger was in Black Panther.
Yes,
he didn't die.
Yes.
And I don't hate to say this, but it's just acknowledging facts. Heath Ledger died, while this movie was about to come out. So that makes him like just live in infamy. Like, oh my gosh! Like,
plus
this was one of his last roles.
He was deep method into this.
The thing about Killmonger is that even though his performance was great, the story was very accessible to people. Everybody could kind of access those feelings of that he was feeling kind of passed over or abandoned.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
So people can identify with that. And the Joker's such a harder thing to identify with.
Right.
I mean, I agree with you guys. You got to give it to Ledger because of the method into this character. He had a tougher hill to climb playing this character. And there's just something about it's like so real about his portrayal. Like you could see a motherfucker snapping and doing that. Like I don't know what it is. It seems so gritty and
there's
real
a lot
and
more
scary.
mystery to it too.
Yes, and also you're right. Killmonger's whole arc could have been padded out a little bit. We could have used a little bit more because it was very quick. He shows up, he takes the throne, everything. So it was very convenient and quick. Whereas you got to spend a lot of time with the Joker, and a lot of times you were like, what the fuck? This guy's crazy. Like you didn't know what he was going to do. Unpredictable from the moment he gets on the screen. So
I'll give credit to Michael B. Jordan doing Killmonger in this respect. The fact that someone even bring that up as a discussion is a credit to what Michael B. Jordan.
No, he's absolutely up in the pantheon of the great villains with Ledger's Joker.
He's in the Pantheron.
He's in the Pantheron.
Pantheron.
I mean, he's definitely got a place up there. Now, if we could find out more about him, give him if he speaks more than just a couple of phrases at a time, that would have been great. But we're not. Plus, you're right. They killed him, and they didn't kill the Joker in the movie. So, good question, Chaz. Thanks for I think Chaz's name is funny because I knew a dude named Chauncey Hollingsworth III. And he was like a web developer. It's the guy who taught me how to like build web pages. And he was a cool little hipster dude. His name was Chauncey. So Chaz reminds me of Chauncey.
I just remember that from Charles in Charge.
Oh, Chaz. Charles in Charge. Thanks everyone for writing in and listening. Check out Voice from the Underground podcast where I did the Black Panther review. It's episode 18. I'll put a link in the show notes. Ruggs, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at ReallyRugboy. Come say hello and evaluate my tweets.
Evaluate them, grade them, mark him for grammar. You want to buy some merch? Visit our shop, jockandnerd.com/shop. Merchandising, people. Your Schwartz is larger than mine. And of course, tell a friend. Spread the geekery. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
Hey, we'll hear you next time.
Your Schwartz is as big as mine.
That was the line. I got the line wrong, didn't I?
Yes. You correct me, I correct you.
Use your Schwartz well.
T'Challa.
Have a moz.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Excelsior.
Enough said, true believer.
Jack Kirby, you can suck my dick.
Has anybody seen $1.4 million? Has anybody? I left it somewhere.
Who took my checkbook?
Have you seen my checkbook? Jock and Nerd.
Y'all crazy.